Alright, so Record of Ragnarok might have just gotten way more interesting. So if you guys checked out my early spoiler video, I was talking about that there's a rumored spin-off coming, and people were initially talking about having something to do with Hades, but for sure it's going to be involving the apocalypse of the gods, so to speak, which is going to be God versus God fights. Now, from what I've heard today, it's not going to be about Hades. Hades just had like a bonus chapter. So super exciting news. We do 100% have a spin-off coming to us next month. This is going to be called the Apocalypse of the Gods. That is 100% confirmed. It's also confirmed that this is going to be showcasing gods who are not prominently showcased in Record of Ragnarok, the main series, or have little involvement to this point. One of those gods will be Indra, who you saw in Shiva's flashback, who fought with Rudra and lost, the god of storms. There's also two other gods on this promotional page that are confirmed to be in the series. That's not the extent, but these three are the ones that they're showing for now. That is also 100% confirmed. What is not 100% confirmed just yet, but is being reported and is a rumor, is that this is actually going to be the start of a new tournament, which makes sense given that we know there's going to be God versus God fights, and apparently the tournament is to crown the 14th fighter in the main series. Because if you guys did not know, as I talked about this almost ad nauseum at this point in a multitude of videos, if every human fighter is to fight, because of the Buddha situation where Buddha switched from the god side to humanity, and he fought a god in Zero Fuko who took Bishamon's place because it was Bishamon including the others, there is an imbalance now on the roster. So if every human fighter is to fight and we get to that final round, there has to be a god fighter. Now if that is going to be the case, we have to have something of a draw as well, which gets all more into the weeds. But if this is all lining up, this tournament is going to crown who that 14th person is. Super interesting. That's why I say take it with a grain of salt, because if that was confirmed, as Kai Hasaikai on TikTok is basically saying, they'd essentially be spoiling Ragnarok, because we'd have to know, okay, there has to be a draw and there has to be, you know, certain wins and losses to make sure every single human fights. We're all expecting that, but an outright spoiler would be kind of crazy. Maybe it'll be something where they just say, we need to have a tournament just in case they tie it up, so we have a last fighter who's in reserves. Either way, I love the concept of this. If that ends up being true, I think that's peak. It's exactly what I was calling for, a spin-off that actually is pertinent to what's happening today in the current events, that's going to lead to something later on. Because if we start reading this tournament and we get a winner at the end of it, that character that we get all this progression for in this spin-off is going to end up being in the prominent fight of the series. If we get to that point, if the series goes that direction. So that'd be perfect. It'd be a great payoff. And I like that a lot. If this is the case, we're going to get great scaling in this verse. So scaling in Record of Ragnarok is very tough because you don't really get common opponents a lot. It's just one-off fights, right? So you get like Zeus versus Adam, and you're like, okay, we got to take statements and things like this and try to compare it to the speed of other characters. And then a lot of people come to the consensus that Zeus and Adam are still the strongest, right? But now if we actually get some God versus God matchups, including Indra, who's front and center on this page, we can actually start to say, okay, we know Indra lost to Rudra, who lost to Shiva. So imagine if Indra does well in this tournament, it's going to be direct scaling to all these people. And then if somebody beats Indra handedly, that's going to be cool. So I love this. It really opens up the world building. It opens up the floodgates on fleshing out other characters. And I think it's the perfect spinoff. Exactly what I wanted. Couldn't be happier if it's true, because we get another opportunity for characters that have appeared in Record of Ragnarok to go over there and watch that tournament. Maybe you have Thor going over there watching and scouting people to say, hey, get this guy in the tournament. He's a good fighter too. And like I said, since it's a spin-off, we're not taking time and much needed prominence away from the events of the main story to make way for this. We get essentially an extra chapter of Record of Ragnarok that can flesh out all these other people. We can get character moments that don't have to happen and take up a page of our one monthly chapter of Ragnarok. So I think this is a net positive all around. And apparently there's going to be Celtic gods in this and an Egyptian god, from what Kai Hasaikai is saying. Who knows if it's true, but the outfits of the middle guy and another Egyptian god, we obviously have Anubis, that's going to be super interesting too. So I like this. I hope it's true. As always, if we get more information in the coming days, I'll probably cover that after my breakdown, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys because this is major news and I'm excited about it if true. That being said, make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss the full breakdown for the chapter. Should be coming very, very soon. So let me know what you guys think. Who do you want to see in that tournament? And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.